I said I was done on the dating apps, and I thought I was, and then I got sad and I re-downloaded them. And now I'm going to tell you a story that is causing me to delete them again because I've come to my senses. So I matched with somebody, we were talking for a few days. It was fine. It was cool. One of the few people where I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. And yesterday, he asked me if I had plans on Friday night. And I said yes, because I do. And I said, well, how about Saturday? I'm off on Saturday. And he said that we had opposite schedules and he has plans on Saturday night. And I said, okay, what about Sunday? And he responded something along the lines of like, you know, I might be free Sunday night. Or like, there's a possibility I'll be free Sunday night. And I thought about it. And finally, I sent a message back that I thought was very cordial and kind of like no pressure. But I sent one back saying, okay, well, I like concrete plans. So why don't you let me know when you're free and we will see if the timing aligns Sunday or afterwards. I thought that was fine because I'm not a last minute plans girly and I need to know that something's happening. I'm not going to keep my Sunday night open for a tentative plan. And I don't expect you to do that either. So either you're free or you're not. We're doing something or we're not. Easy. And I woke up this morning and I had been unmatched. I don't understand.
The really weird unspoken thing about dating apps is that if you don't like them and you don't want to use them, you feel guilty because it's like, well, I'm not using the app. I'm not trying. That's why I'm single. The concept of online dating isn't a bad one. And I think for some people, it's actually a great option to meet other single people. The issue is it's not for everyone, yet somehow it became like the primary mode of how people meet each other, probably because of COVID. But like me personally, I never wanted to meet someone on a dating app. I was so adverse to using them. But I started using them because everyone else was doing it. I was like, well, I guess this is the way now. This is modern dating. I would check Hinge and be like, guess I have to message this guy back. I should probably go on a date. Like, what? That's not how it should be. But then it was also like, well, I'm not trying. That's why I'm single. It's my fault. As if there's like not other ways to meet people and form relationships. Anyway, I have deleted Hinge. I'm done. And I will die alone if Hinge is the only way to meet people, I guess, because I just don't want to deal with it.
I deleted my dating apps this morning. And the reason being is I thought this entire time my biggest fear is that I was going to end up alone. But I've come to recognize my biggest fear is that I am going to choose wrong or incorrectly. And that is something that I need to work on, but I no longer want to get on these apps. And you know how like the men can like say they're interested and the women have to like make the selection of, yes, I want to talk to this man or not. I apparently cannot make that selection correctly. And since I cannot make that selection correctly, I should not be on these platforms. At this point, I really just want to focus on yoga and focus on my manifestation journals and really figure out what my life is going to look like. And hopefully the universe will bring somebody my way. That just kind of feels most natural at this point.
I deleted my dating apps a couple months ago, and for me, it was quite literally the best choice that I've ever had. I am somebody that's jumped on and jumped off dating apps for probably years now. And it's always been that like coping skill that I always resort back to. And God really convicted me on it. And my convictions and your convictions are going to be different. But for me, it started to turn into a distraction, and I was leaning on my own understanding and not God. The only person that I want is who God has for me. And when I was on dating apps, I was kind of just accepting things that I didn't really want to accept because you have this fear of like the scarcity mindset that for some reason that they made me feel like that. And again, not everybody has this feeling. This was just but for me personally, deleting them has caused me so much peace in my life. And now I just engage with people in person. Let me put you guys on to the biggest cheat code. If you think a guy is cute, first of all, check and see if he has a ring or a girlfriend around him. But ask him for help. It doesn't have to necessarily come from a romantic place. You can just engage and see if he bites. So ask him for help. If you're at the gym, be like, hey, can you help me re-rack this weight? Hey, do you know where this blank machine? Hey, what pre-workout do you take? If you're at the grocery store, ask him if he knows where a random thing might be. We are so distracted by our phones sometimes that we fail to see what's quite literally right in front of our face. So hear me out. Maybe just try it out. Delete your dating apps and open up your eyes.
Hi there. Hope you're all doing fine. I'm also good. Welcome back to yet another interesting video today. Why are so many women deleting the dating apps? Let's see what TikTok thinks about it, and let's listen to this story. Let's watch this video till the end so that we can have our opinions after that.
Unhealthy dopamine hits. Let's talk about it. When I was in the absolute thick of my anxious attachment style, I had dating apps. I joined Hinge, I joined Tinder, I joined Bumble, and I thought it was going to be so much fun and distract me from what was actually going on in my life. Firstly, it did the complete opposite. And secondly, what I realized that these dating apps were doing was actually just giving me little really unhealthy hits of dopamine. In my personal experience and what I went through over the last couple of months, I realized that my self-esteem and my self-worth was basically non-existent. I could not validate myself. I couldn't look in the mirror and tell myself that I was beautiful. I couldn't look in the mirror and tell myself that I was funny. And it wasn't until I identified the areas that I needed to work on that I realized that I was not on dating apps to meet people or to date. I actually had no interest in it. It was because my self-worth and my self-esteem was so low. And obviously, there's nothing wrong with being on dating apps. However, I just feel, personally, personal opinion, I just feel that if you are struggling with your self-esteem and your self-worth and your self-talk, that maybe having a break from the dating apps will be good for you for a little while. It will allow you to sit with yourself, sit with your thoughts, and do things that make you happy. It'll give you a chance to be able to learn how to validate yourself.
So I got off the dating apps a couple months ago because, they just kind of suck. But last month truly solidified my decision to never return to those apps, and it's not for the reason that you think. So basically, my best friend found out from some guy that there was somebody on the dating apps that were using her pictures. They were basically catfishing, pretending to be her. So she asked me, will you make a fake profile, as a guy, and then, swipe through and see if you come across my profile? So I'm like, yeah, girl, I got you. So I make a fake profile. Now I'm pretending to be some man, and I'm swiping through all the women to find my friend. Y'all, when I tell you, I was swiping 10 after 10 after 10 after 10, gorgeous woman after gorgeous woman after gorgeous woman, all of them with very well thought out profiles, all of them with hobbies and interests, who want long-term committed relationships, all of them who are clearly putting a lot of effort into this. And I couldn't run out of options. It seemed like no matter how many times I swiped, there was always another 10 waiting for me. And it just made me think, if this is what it's like for them, I'm seeing why partially they don't take women that they meet on dating apps that seriously. Because if I match with this girl and she's not immediately what I want her to be, she's not vibing with what I'm vibing with, I ask her if I can come over at 10 o'clock at night and she don't want to do it, I'm just gonna get back on the apps and find somebody that will. Just swipe one more time and you'll find somebody who probably looks even better than her, who's probably even more of a match for me. It just really gives the illusion of endless options. And men already have more eligible dating options than women do. They already have more of an upper hand when it comes to the playing field. They're already winning. Then you get on the apps and you have all of these options at your fingertips. No, absolutely not. I said no. I will not be returning to these apps now that I'm seeing it from their side. No, thank you. I can't stress to you how many eligible bachelorettes were on this app. I got on Tinder and I got on Hinge, and it was the same with both. It's always beautiful, stunning, gorgeous women. And then also seeing them on the app made me really feel why are you on here? As fine as you are and as much of a catch as you seem to be, why are you on this app? And now I understand when men, because I've seen men come on TikTok and be when men meet you on the dating app, they automatically think that you're desperate. And first, it sounds offensive, and it kind of is. But now that I'm scrolling from their perspective, I'm why are you on this app? You really are too good to be on here. And if that's how they've been viewing me, yeah, baby, I'm not going back. You can forget about it. Bye.
I recently deleted my Hinge, and I don't think I'm ever going back. I've seen so many other women saying that they also deleted the app. Dating apps are no longer for dating. Men have just turned dating apps into like an easier way to access convenient sex. In love, we are kind of meant to be found. We're not meant to be actively trying to find love. It's just supposed to be something you stumble into. I don't understand how men got onto dating apps and were like, oh yeah, this is not going to be for dating. I literally was talking to a guy for a month. I was seeing him almost every single week, got me a Valentine's Day gift, all this stuff. Woke up one day and was like, I cannot be in a romantic relationship. Why were you on Hinge? I literally matched with another guy and he's like, oh, what are you on here for? Usually when they ask you what are you on here for, they're either because they actually seriously do want a girlfriend, which is like very never, or because they're trying to see if you want to hook up. So I was like, you know what, let me give this guy like the benefit of the doubt. And I was like, oh, I'm on here trying to find my husband that I could run around the playground with at 2 a.m., being kiki. This guy goes, something similar. I'm also trying to find people to hang out with late at night. I said, hang out with late at night? What do you mean? He goes, what's wrong with that? I said, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, I'm trying to find people to hang out with late at night or early mornings. I said, baby, you're looking for a prostitute. That's what you're on this dating app for? A lot of the components of dating apps are just so superficial because I genuinely am such a surface level person on first match. You don't hit everything, all those points, I'm not gonna like you. Most of the men I've ever dated were from dating apps and they were the worst ones, but they were the most beautiful ones. But the guys that I met, like either through mutuals or in regular life, they weren't as attractive, but they were so much better. I feel like we get on dating apps because we feel this idea of like scarcity, so hard to find people. I was definitely like that too, because I had this whole idea like, fuck, how am I ever gonna find someone? There was a time people dated before dating apps. I think if we all put our fucking foot down and we get off the dating apps, men are gonna go back to talking to women in public because they don't do it anymore because it's just so much easier to go on an app and swipe. I really feel like when you get out of the mindset of allowing men to like behave mediocrely with you, when you get out of that, you'll realize that it's almost impossible for someone to come with like the pressure right off a dating app because they've never had a conversation with you in person. They don't know who you are. How can I expect you to like want to plan an amazing date for me and the only thing you have to go off of is 4 prompts and some photos of me? When somebody meets you in person, there's more of that initial connection, so they're more likely to be a bit more emotionally involved with you. So this is your sign. Get off the apps, go find your man at Erewhon, the gym, something.
It's 2025. I don't know when as a society we're going to collectively agree that the dating apps are a problem. Like a genuine fucking problem that have infiltrated society and disrupted human behavior and preying on human psychology. Because a lot of problems that we're facing in society today, the declining birth rate, dating apps, the high divorce rate, dating apps, the high cheating rate, dating apps, the chronic isolation that's occurring, dating apps, even male loneliness, fucking dating apps. Because I'm sorry, you can't learn how to swim by watching videos on how to swim. You have to get out there and fucking swim. Okay? And these dating apps are preying on this function of like, are you sure you want what's behind this door when you can have what's behind this door? I'm pretty sure that was like a human that was psychology 101. Like, I'm gonna be so honest with you. And they're just like preying on that as an app, and they're gamifying a very natural human function of how men and women and humans and literally everyone relate to each other and get their needs met with one another. It is the basic foundation of all of society being operated and running off of. And it's a core intimacy. It's core understanding how I work with somebody else. And it's completely just being wiped out of society. And we still are just going along with it, still swiping, still giving them our attention, still giving them our money, when it's like they're causing the problems.
If you want to know what it's like, and I can only speak as a woman that is dating men, what it is like on the dating scene right now, I'm going to tell you this story. I matched with this guy and we seemed to be getting along well. This was recent. This was like half an hour ago. And we were chit-chatting, had a couple of back and forths, and pretty quickly he was like, do you want to have a quick phone call? Like, do you want to see if we like actually vibe on the phone? And I was like, you know what? Sure, like, why not? Let's have a quick phone call. So he gave me his number so that I could basically call him and put 141 in front of my number so that it came up as unknown or blocked. Because, you know, we're trying to protect ourselves out here. I'd only known this guy for maybe 10 minutes. I'd been matched with him at this point. So we were chit-chatting on the phone. It seemed like it was going okay. We were, you know, both establishing that we were looking for something more serious, that, you know, we were saying what we did for work, and it was all the basic getting to know each other questions. He then told me, he was like, I hope you're prepared because I've not had sex in 7 months. And I was like, oh, how come? And he was like, oh, I've just been working on myself and it hasn't been a focus. And I was like, you know what? Cool, you do you. I was like, I'd be losing my mind at that point, but more power to you. And he was like, oh, really? Like, it's a green flag that you like sex. What's your favourite position? And I was like, that's a very intimate question for someone that you've known for like 10 minutes. At which point he then started grunting. Like, you fucking know. But he was like grunting. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And he was like, oh, do you have 5 more minutes just to hang around so that I can come? I literally went, what the fuck? And hung up the phone. That's fucking violating. That's literally sexual harassment. I've reported him on the app and blocked him. Luckily, I called him from like 141, so he doesn't have my number. I've also blocked his. But that's what it's like. That's literally what it's like. And the more that I try to date, the more I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching the whole video till the end. We have all heard. This isn't just about ghosting or bad first dates. Women leaving dating apps signals a bigger cultural shift. TikTok is showing us that people are rethinking not only how they date, but what they want from relationships in the first place. And today we are diving into the video that prove that the swiping era might be ending. Dating apps are draining. You can hear some of them also saying it's really exhausting, it's draining, it's time wasting. It's like it makes you doubt your self-confidence. It begins making you think so much about yourself. The self-esteem really goes down because you are not getting anyone to date seriously. Some people are on their dating apps are just there to waste other people's time. They are not serious. You can be on a dating site for years without getting someone who is serious. So this is all frustrating. And then sometimes you get someone, you plan things. There is a lot of love bombing. You talk to someone, he love bombs you. There is gaslighting. There is ghosting. You arrange for a date with someone, especially if you are like close to each other or within the same locality. You can meet someone on the dating sites and then you plan for a date, like you've heard some saying. You plan for a date and then the date turns out so horrible and so disappointing. Others, even just talking, you feel like, yeah, you're getting maybe to know this person, then the person just blocks you, ghosts you. That is all traumatizing. Just imagine the time you've invested in the dating site, in talking to people. If you are not on a free dating site, all the money that you invested there, and then you end up with nothing for years. You are always paying, subscribing, and then you end up with someone who is not worthy it. Sometimes it makes you feel like you just go with anyone now who comes along. You know, when you've been on a dating site for so long, you feel frustrated. I'm talking because I've been there. You begin feeling so frustrated and you're like, now you begin lowering your standards sometimes. You are like, I've been here for so long, I'm not getting anyone. So if someone like this and this comes along, I will just go with him. So you end up making a wrong choice with the person whom you're not supposed to end up with. Just because you are frustrated, just because you see you're spending a lot of time on these dating sites or apps. And then sometimes someone wastes your time. You meet someone on the dating site or app, you talk, he tells you, I've deleted my account, you also delete yours, and then you go off the dating site. Once you are off, you talk for years, this person is not saying anything, this person is not making any move, and yet you've already deleted the app. So when you realize that it's time wasting, you again re-register. That is a lot of time wasting. It's not easy to go along with these dating sites. Some have faced the romance scams, and all this has come through dating sites. But before dating sites, there were other ways where people used to meet. And some women are really advising their fellow women or fellow ladies to go back to the traditional way of meeting people. Meet people at a church, meet someone at a workplace, meet someone in a bar, meet someone at a party, meet someone through friends, meet someone through family. Yeah, like that. That's when you really get to know someone. Because this person, at least you have ways of checking him, whether he is good or if he's not right for you. You can easily do background check. But on social media, some people have fake accounts. You can't check them out. You can't see anything about them, and then you end up with them. And sometimes that's why we end up with bad people. We end up with bad partners. We end up with people who will hurt us. We think because everyone is on the dating sites, we can't know whether this one is from where, how is his character. Some people hide their characters and not until he gets you is when he begins showing his true characters. Just imagine you met someone maybe on a dating site and you are in a very different continent, say Africa or Asia, and this person is maybe in Europe or USA, Australia, and then you're supposed to meet up with this person. He's hiding all his bad characters in that period. You do everything that normal people do to get to like maybe marriage, and then you get to stay with this person. You travel all the way from that side, and then reaching here or wherever you're supposed to meet him in his country, he's a totally different person. He begins showing you his behaviors maybe after 1 month or after 2 months. Sometimes they may hide it for some long time. Then later on, they begin showing you their true characters. And because you were limited on checking about their past or anything related to them, you find yourself in a very difficult situation. So it's okay to delete the dating apps. If you see that things are not working out for you, you can delete, because sometimes you can be mentally affected and tortured. Just imagine you've been on the dating sites for years, you're not getting anyone, people are ghosting you, people are love bombing you, gaslighting, and then you begin thinking you have mental issues, you begin thinking so much, you even sometimes go into depression, especially if you got attached to this person so early. So that is all. It's really not easy out there on the dating sites. However, it has a positive side. I don't think it's really so bad that we all need to delete. No, you can try on both. You can stay on the dating sites, but also do your search locally, like physically. You can go for singles meetings, conferences for the youth, conferences for single people. You can go and attend. You never know, you may meet someone there. Then also I remember our priest used to tell us in church, after mass, you don't just walk out of church and direct to your home. You can stay around first, get out of the church, stay around, get to know people, talk to people, and check if they don't have, if you feel that someone is a potential suitor, and you see that he's really not married, there is no wedding ring on their fingers, there is no what. Yeah, you begin like casually, you become friends, casual friends, and then you never know what God has for you. Because these dating apps are not for everyone, that is the truth. Some people are made to meet their partners physically, like locally. Let's not lose hope. It's not the end of of dating. No, we can be on the dating sites, but if you see that things are not working out, I think it's good, it's better to first go off. And if you see that you're losing your mind, to be safe, to stay safe, delete all the dating apps. First relax, first refresh your mind, your body, work on yourself, work on your health, do other things that will distract you and you forget about these dating site sagas, because these dating sites or apps, what I know, sometimes they are addictive. When you have an app on your phone, you will always feel like, I need to check, maybe someone has sent me a message, I need to see, maybe there are some new people who have come on, and then I need to check, maybe I need to change my profile photo, I need to change this, because that is the right thing to do. And yeah, we just do not need to stick to the first photo that we put. We need to be changing the photos, and that is also another thing. So you are stressed looking for which photo is good, which one is befitting, making consultations, asking people, some people you trust, do you think this is a good photo? Do you think, check through my profile, do you think what I've written is okay? You know, so it's really draining, it's not easy, and you wonder, because you see so many men like on the apps, but they are not approaching and they are not sending any signal, and you're like, what is happening? You know, originally women were supposed to be pursued, not us to pursue the men. But with dating apps, some of them like Bumble, you the lady, you're the one supposed to first make the move. And for shy people, it's not easy. It needs confidence, because you're like, supposing I send this person a message and he will blast me. Supposing this person will say something that will hurt me. Supposing this person will let me down, you know? So it's not easy. It's really, yeah, it's not easy. But let's not lose hope. There is light in the other end of the world. So that is my thought. If TikTok is right, this isn't the end of dating apps. It's the beginning of people demanding something real. I think the problem is some of those accounts on the dating sites or apps, they are fake. That is where the problem comes. Someone gets your photo and then creates an account or several accounts with it. Gets other photos and creates several accounts with them. And it is just like, that is what is happening. And it's so disappointing. I used to see some men who have really stayed there for years. There are men who used to stay from 2015, 2012, 2010. Someone has been on the dating site up to 2025. Is that a real account or is that a fake account for all that period? I think there are so many fake accounts there. That is why all this frustration comes. So what we are seeing is not just a dating trend, it's a cultural reset on what love and connection should look like. Maybe deleting the dating apps isn't about giving up. It's about rewriting the rules of modern relationships. What do you think about this? Let's meet in the comments. Put your opinion there. If you find this interesting, like and share. And in case you have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button so that you get to watch more of the interesting videos. And let's meet in the next video.